Alright guys, we're going to do a natural dirt with my Eureka Victory, which I have not really touched in a while. It's got new belt on it, new genuine Eureka bags, which aren't really that good, but they do work. It's got this little scent bag in it. Although, I have to say, ever since I got this thing, I've only been able to get this motor to sound better and better every time I touch the motor. And it actually does sound like a Eureka Victory, believe it or not. Not, you know, it sounds like a worn out Eureka Victory, let's just put it that way. That's what I would call it. Still got this ugly ass white cord on it. When I do put a new cord on it, I'm actually going to properly take it down to the motor and run it all the way down to the motor, because right now, this is the original cord right here, and then they cut it off up here like idiots. So, it's like just twisted onto there. But it does run, so, yeah. And it does, everyone says these didn't clean well. They actually do. It really, I mean, bare floors, no. But, when it comes to carpet, they actually were decent. Everyone says they were bad, but they weren't. I don't know why they would get those impressions, because, there's no real reason to think that, because they make good contact with the floor. They have good agitating brush holes. This hose is shot. And they've got a lot of airflow, actually. These are actually pretty high airflow machines. And good suction, so they're good for sealed carpets as well. So we'll do the medium setting. So you guys might have noticed that this just kind of flaps around in the wind. It doesn't really latch anymore. I've got this little post motor filter from a Hoover, one of the newer Hoovers. It used to be activated carbon, now it's not because I washed it. I just wanted it as some kind of little thing to go in there, which it doesn't really like to go in there. Yeah, no, I don't know why people say these were bad deep cleaners. There's only a couple people who have said it. Dylan thinks they don't, and I believe, I don't know, I'm pretty sure some people said it, I just can't remember. I mean, it makes sense coming from Dylan. He also thinks Dyson's out cleaning Kirby's. Alright, little setting. And I might as well move his, yeah, see, this hose is like, after washing it, it's like it wasn't like that before I washed it. Now it's like all fucked up after washing it. I don't know what happened, but I had to wash it, because I had not washed it ever since I got it, which means I didn't even wash it when I got it. And this thing came from a junkyard, and it was pretty nasty when I got it. I only really cleaned the things that I knew how to take off, and I didn't know how to take the hose off. I never knew that you had to take the handle off to get the hose off. So that's why this hose never got washed until recently. This thing smells really good with that scent bag in there. Blowing nice cold air. They're not cold, but like nice cold. Let's see if it. Look how much airflow it has. It's blowing my bed skirt. See, most vacuums don't like this rug. Let's see if this one will do it. We'll start with the lowest setting. It actually does it. It's actually not that loud. Now, if you guys watch Vacuums and Carpet Cleaner Guy, if you don't, link to his channel is in the description, I think. Depends on if I remember to do it when I post this. He has a Eureka Victory, and it has a 10 amp motor in it, but I believe it has the bigger motor housing still. So I might either buy just the motor off of him, or maybe the whole machine, but I'm not quite sure. I'm not meaning to hit the Kirby, although I'm not concerned about the Kirby, I'm concerned about the front of this thing. Because this is honestly, like, this whole thing is just phantom brittle. I mean, the handle was clearly brittle years ago, because when I got this thing, the handle was broken. Except it had, like, expensive tape wrapped all over it, and honestly, I rather look at this freaking covered hand than all that tape. Plus, it's more comfortable without the tape. Because I did this, and there was still a bunch of plastic missing back here, so I just filled it in with silicone. And then, since it was white silicone, I just painted the whole handle black. Plus, it was really scratched up here, so I was actually able to pull off. It actually looks pretty decent. But if I do find a handle for like a cheap price, I'll probably buy it. I haven't even found one for an expensive price. They're nowhere. I can't even find one of the cheap ones that doesn't have the full design. A lot of them didn't have the full design. A lot of them didn't have this piece. They just had one little hook. They didn't have it. This, which I prefer how the full design looks personally. I think they look kind of silly without this piece here, because the ones I'm talking about just have the hook for the hose. They don't have the full design. This is all gone. This was just one of the more expensive models, I guess. I don't know. It's also one of the older ones. It's a 97. So it's new enough to have the 12 amp, but old enough to be a Victory. This Victory is actually older than this caddy back. Still working on the smart back here. You guys know, like, the little spike that sticks up on this to hold your extension wand in place broke off, like this type of thing to hold your extension wand in place. Well, since that broke off, this extension wand would just always slide around, and then eventually it would just fall off. Maybe not really, but it would always, you know, slide around, and now it's got that. I'm not going to do it too much, though, this hasn't fully cured. I don't know, I couldn't find a black cap. Eventually I'll find a black one. But yeah, I just used some silicone adhesive to glue it on there. It didn't look too bad. And I obviously took this whole base apart. Now everything is very smooth feeling, which is nice. No more clunking or anything. But yeah, it's all cleaned out, and it's got a brand new HEPA filter, which I got 3 crappy generic bags, this HEPA filter, and 3 post motor filters, all for like 10 bucks. It's a really nice deal. And they're generic, they're all generic, but they work. This was still rated HEPA, so. One second. And this is an indeed sealed system. There's rubber seals all the way around the motor housing. Sealed right there. And it even has a seal for the base plate. And obviously, there's no seal on here, but no air can get around this HEPA filter because there's a seal on the HEPA filter itself. So actually, it's better to have the seal on the HEPA filter and not the cover, because if you think about it, you want it on the HEPA filter, because then your HEPA filter seal is going to be getting replaced every time you replace the HEPA filter. So, I mean, yeah, and then also this window I already cleaned up, real nice. It's not perfect. I also painted the brush roll, sprayed it a bit, and repacked the bearings and stuff. This is not for this. This is for the 3590, which has the blue crevice tool. Oh yeah, I don't know if I posted a video on it, but oh no, those are the cloth bags for those. Because yes, I use Y bags in this hoover that's meant to take A bags, because Y bags have the same collar, but they only reach to like here, so you gotta make sure you don't make the bag too heavy, otherwise it'll fall. But since I don't use it with heavy stuff, I can use these in a cloth HEPA bags. But I also managed to find some affordable, I believe they're made by Clean Fairy. Eureka style RR bags. So I've got nice Eureka style RR HEPA bags. They're nice cloth, very nice material, and they're really well built, and they were cheap. They seem to be decent so far. I've already got one in there, which I haven't even really tested these yet because I haven't ran it since I put it in there, because I'm still waiting on the belts for it. This one obviously got all the new filters and stuff. New filter. Oh yeah, I've got a 6594 on the way from Wizard. His name is Andrew. I'll put his link in the description as well, yet again, if I remember. And he's going to send me with that 6594 a whole set of attachments for this. I can't remember, actually no, I don't think he's including a brush. I don't think he had one, but turbo brush and crevice tool extension wand I'll have. Which is sad because I really was excited about my custom, my custom turbo brush, but I'd rather have the original one on there. Plus, I almost just did this to kind of relive the Kenmore, just because I really missed that vacuum, actually. I really loved that Kenmore Progressive. It had, like, all the touch on here, the intelligent cleaning, or just whatever those sensors were, so that you didn't use as much power and stuff like that. You know, I planned on having that Kenmore by the time I got one of these, so I can compare them. it didn't make it. Well, no. With the knowledge I have now, that Kenmore would still be here. But then, when I got rid of it, I didn't have much knowledge, and I had no idea how to work on it. So, yeah, I'm an idiot. I should have just, like, kept it in the basement or something until I figured out how to fix it. Because all it needed was a new carbon brush. Or no, it didn't even need a new carbon brush. Carbon brushes were fine. It's just the commutator was, something was up with it, and it just needed to be cleaned with a seating stone, and I didn't know how to do that, so, unfortunately now it's gone. So, yeah.